All right, making this video because I've been getting emails and texts, Facebook messages. I've been threatened at gunpoint, all this stuff, trying to find out what's going on with Watkins Boys and the business itself. The reason that I decided to shut down the business, which basically has been shut down for a while now, we'll go back to COVID. Before COVID even, we had the shop here in Traverse or in Kalkaska, and when the pot industry came into town, all the buildings went skyrocketed, quadruple, 10 times worth what the buildings were worth or selling for that much. So we moved out of that location, bought a building in another one town over from where I live, and 6 months into that, COVID hit. Well, before that even happened, I was having trouble getting people to work. Most everybody, the good employees that I had, like Nick and Rich and all those guys, kind of. Rich retired basically. Nick went off and started an excavating company, and more power to him because he's doing good with that. But either way, that was a problem. COVID hit in the new building. I seen the writing on the wall. You couldn't get anybody to work. All I was doing at that point is I was becoming a storage unit for hot rod projects. No way I could finish them on my own. Wasn't going to be able to hire anybody. So in the summer, I think it was 2001, we sold that business, or sold that building, luckily, and actually came out without getting hurt on that deal, which I'm very fortunate. Thank you, Lord, for that. Sold that business and finished up. I took this Roadrunner home to finish up, which is behind me, right there. That Roadrunner has been the kryptonite to me. I mean, it has been a forever project. The car was really, really, really beyond restoring. The customer wanted it restored. We did it. It turned out beautiful. It's a great car, but I mean, it needed everything. We replaced every single panel on that car except for the roof skin. Everything's been modified or replaced. And then the complete suspension's all been upgraded to modern suspension. I mean, it's got the best of everything. It's got the Gen 3 Hemi, the Tremix 5-speed. I mean, the list goes on and on with that. I'm not going to get into that whole build, but that car was done, and I decided, the Watkins Boys end of it needed to go away because I want to go in a new direction, and that's where that Rusted Bones Speed Shop come into play. I'm 60 now, I'll be 61 in March, and my knees are both shot. They're gone. Shoulders, elbows, but my knees are completely destroyed. Getting to the point where I can barely walk on them anymore. It won't be too much longer before I probably won't be able to. And of course, they won't do any surgery till I lose well over 100 pounds, which is going to be tough. So, and listen, I don't need the comments about fucking fat ass, lose weight, blah, blah, blah. I know everything that I need to know. So I don't need no help there. So there's where I'm at. So the Rusted Bones concept really is basically me I want to kind of give back to this thing that I've been doing my whole life, 43 years, 44 years since I started my shop, originally called Streetwise Customs, which later turned into Watkins Boys Speed and Customs. That's all I've ever done. I've never worked for anybody. I've subcontracted through one other place years ago for Tribal Motor Works, but that was more of like us doing it together type of thing. The Rusted Bones speed shop is kind of me trying to get people back to basics on this stuff. I mean, this car right here is a fine example of, as far as I'm concerned, of going too far with one. I know there's a ton of shops out there that do just amazing work, and they're doing, a lot of CNC machining and 3D printing, and I mean, they're even forming metal now with CNC machines. It ain't something that I'm interested in. I'm an old dog who ain't really looking to learn new tricks. I mean, we've done a lot of CNC stuff over the years. And I might even actually do some more of that stuff at some point, that part of it. But the cars to me are too refined anymore. They're too nice. I mean, these builds are costing people $1 million+ now to build. I mean, the Riddler cars are multi-million-dollar cars now. I have no interest in building cars like that, and not that to say that it just ain't my thing. I want to see where I started from as a kid, being able to buy stuff and fix it up yourself, and just get it to run and have some fun, man. I mean, I really subscribe to the whole. Yeah, and it's from the YouTube movement with Vice Grip Garage and Puddin's Fab and of course the kings of it, which would be Freiberger and Finnegan from Roadkill, of just taking them and have fun with them. I mean, there's nothing wrong with building yourself a nice shiny car. I'm not trying to put that out there. I mean, that's what I built my whole life off from, is making stuff shine. I'm just tired of seeing it myself. For me personally, if anybody who's watching this probably knows, my old Rusty Pig, my square body Rust Pig, that truck was one of the funnest vehicles I've ever had, because I don't give a shit about it. Whatever happens to it, happens to it. If it gets a chip in it, if it gets scratched, I don't care. I'll just repair it with some more rust. Same way with the 54 that I built Rocky, that I drove forever. That car is just fun. You get in it and you can't help but being happy. You know what I mean? I didn't get that feeling from all the years of building motorcycles and building these high-end cars. All they were to me is something you were worried about constantly. I mean, this thing just sitting in my garage right now has got me worried. I just get sick of just, constantly finessing them and cleaning them and worrying about every little scratch and chip. And if somebody even brushes up against it, like this black car, if somebody brushes against it, you got to polish the whole panel again. I just, to each his own. That's where I come from. The heroes in this industry that I've always had have built that kind of stuff. But I don't want to do it. Trains coming through town. I don't know if that's picking up or not, but come through town about twice a day, and it has to be right now. But that's where I'm at with it. I want to give back to that and try to we need to, as the guys that are watching this, is giving back to that community that's, brought us a lot of joy. I want to see more young people back into this thing again. That was one of the problems that I had with trying to keep the high-end end of it going, is that young people don't really care much about this. And they, we're aging out of this thing where these cars, I think about this car right here, because not to say it's going to be the last shiny one I ever did, because of my Pontiac, I probably will do shiny, and possibly another truck that's unfinished that I got to do. There is a couple things I still would like to do. I'd like to do my Pontiac. I would like to do the 54 Ford suicide door truck that we started building a while back. And I'd like to finish the 70 Camaro. That's a badass car. I just seen that the other day again, that we started for another customer a while back. But will I ever? I don't know. That's up to them. Whether they want to finish those projects or not, that's up to them. To me, that's out of my hands. But the Pontiac, I'm definitely going to do for myself. God willing, I live long enough to do it. I am going to build another motorcycle that I got in the works, that I'm going to do one more of those. That'll definitely be the last one, because those things are worthless now. I mean, you can't give a custom bike away anymore. I mean, so you darn sure can't put a lot of money into it. I can put my time into it, but I'm going to have to be creative with that one, and it's going to have to be more labor. Jeez, oh Peach, this is the freaking longest train in the world going through town. Anyway, I'm going to do some gas pump restores, old bubblegum machine restores, uh, pop machines, that kind of stuff. And that's where the direction I'm getting at is just trying to bring back some of that old stuff that's from years ago that still works and reviving old stuff. Because all this new crap's junk. Everything's junk nowadays. Everything. New cars, new tools, new parts you get for these cars. It's all junk. But there's all kinds of cool rusty stuff laying around that you can bring back to life, and it'll last another 100 years, man. I mean, I just want to see that kind of resurgence come back. I long for that time in my life. I mean, that was a way better time than what it is now. I mean, things are different now, I know, and everything changes. But even as I'm looking over there in the corner, I got 2 LS motors and a small block Chevy 327. I would much rather put that 327 into my Pontiac than that LS motor that I got all the money in sitting over there. It's all this computer shit, all this stuff. It ain't my thing. I don't need to get every last horsepower out of a motor. I mean, if I can frickin' turn the tires on the damn thing and create a little bit of smoke, I'm good. Them days of trying to squeeze every horsepower out of something ended years ago for me. I've always been more of a cruiser and profiler than I have been a speed demon. But that's where I'm at. That's what's going to be coming up with the Rusted Bones. And all this stuff's even tentative. I mean, I've changed directions with the wind. So, I mean, I have a hard time letting go of that Watkins boy's name, because that was kind of a homage to my pops at the end there. And he's gone. He's been gone 20 years, which is hard to believe. But there's where we're at, and that's what I'm going to do. And I encourage every one of you guys out there that are into these cars to, man, we've been going to these events and these cruises and stuff, and we hand out Hot Wheels everywhere we go. Hot Wheels are cheap. Buy $100 worth of Hot Wheels each year and take them on these cruises with you and hand them out to little kids and watch the glow on their face. That might be the spark that ignites the next generation of these cars. Because otherwise, this shit's going to be in a landfill someday. I mean, it's going to be in a landfill someday no matter what. But like I said, we're aging out of this thing, especially the motorcycles. That generation's dying off, and these young people don't want nothing to do with Harley Davidsons or custom bikes, so them things are worthless now. The cars are going to get to that point, the old cars. I mean, I know there's a lot of tuner kids out there, and that's cool, whatever your thing is. I mean, a lot of these guys are into Corvettes and a lot of these new supercars, whatever you want to call them, and they all look like you just bought them off the showroom floor to me, but at least they're getting something and they're interested in the cars. So I can appreciate it, and I don't try to beat up on it too bad, because I don't understand it, so sometimes I do, but if I do, I don't mean to. But all that stuff is got to continue. I mean, I know there ain't very many of these cars left, or any of these old cars left, and all the old guys think that they're worth so much money, and then you got the jackasses that let them rot into the earth behind their house. They're going to fix them up. Freaking 90-year-old man with 6 frickin' cars that he'll let rot into the earth because he's going to fix them all up. I know guys in their 50s out there that I actually personally are friends with that got a ton of cars that they're going to fix up, that ain't going to do shit with them, that will leave this earth with them cars sitting in the same position that they are right now. I know lots of people like that. I've got friends, family, everything that got all kinds of shit like that, and they just won't do nothing with them. So, I mean, I'm getting in my venting mode, but either way, there's where I'm at with everything, the whole system. But I would like to see more people not worry about making stuff shiny and pretty and make it run enjoy the hell out of it, even if it's got a torn up seat, even if it's got a freaking rust on the quarter panel. Just make it run and get out there and enjoy it and just peck away at it slowly but surely. Learn to do it yourself. I didn't know how to do none of this at one point in my life. I wasn't born knowing how to hang panels, fabricate, paint, build motors. I didn't learn, or I didn't grow up knowing any of that. I learned it over time, and I learned it out of necessity, and the necessity was that nobody was going to do it for me. So if I wanted something cool, I had to do it myself. You know, a lot of people assume that my dad taught me what I know, and if my dad was sitting here right next to you, he would say I didn't teach him shit, because he didn't. He didn't really teach me nothing. Now, did he spark the fire? Yes, because I was always into cars. I grew up around hot rods. I grew up around the shows and drag races, everything. He created the spark, and he didn't teach me nothing. I learned this shit on my own by doing it. I drug a 67 Firebird out of the woods when I was about 14 years old, and I rebuilt it myself, and that's how I did it, and that's how I learned. And that's what we need to get back to, the basics of it. You know, I miss the old days of, you know, us guys getting together and pulling our motors out in the backyard underneath a tree. I mean, we did that stuff a lot. Full all-nighters, you know what I mean? You know, it was good times. I miss those times. I really do miss those times. It was a better life, a better world. But I want to spark that interest back into some young people. I don't know how to do it. I did the TBA thing for a few years where I taught that class over there, and on a volunteer basis, where we built the custom bike that we auctioned off. But there was so much politics in the school over there that turned to shit real quick. After I could have did that for another 20 years and been happy doing it, but the politics of the schools and the egos that needed stroking through that whole thing was like, to me it was about the kids, and some of the teachers over there, I won't get into any names, but some of the teachers over there needed to be in the spotlight 24/7, and you know, tried to bully their way through things, and I don't bully real easy. So I'm not the guy you can bully. So yeah, that went to shit. You know, it is what it is, I guess. But there's where I'm at. So to answer all those questions, or the mystery, there's no big mystery about what I'm doing. I am going to come out with a line of Rusted Bones Speed Shop apparel, hats, t-shirts, stickers, all kinds of stuff. I would like to figure out a way to give back more to that community. I don't really know how. If anybody's got suggestions, let me know. But I don't have a lot of energy these days, so it ain't like I can get out there and be giving away, you know, hours and hours and hours away. But I mean, I'm willing to frickin' give advice to anybody that wants to get into this business. I mean, there is a living that can be made off this business. It isn't what you think, that you're going to be a multi-millionaire and you're going to be spraying candies and airbrushing flames 2 days after you get into a shop. There's where the problem usually lies with most young people, is they think that that's where they're going to start out, and you're not. I mean, I had a young guy work for me one time, and I told him he wanted to paint so bad, and I told him that, you know, until you can learn to even wash a car right, I can't really teach you how to paint one right. So as you can figure, that didn't last very long, because he didn't even want to learn the basics, how to even detail one right, let alone paint one. But I'm willing to pass that knowledge on. I want to pass on that knowledge, but that's up to whoever and whatever. We'll see how that plays out. But I'm going to go forth with this little venture. I wanted to finish up this car first before I even said anything about it. That car is pretty much finished other than a front end alignment and some AC charging, which I got to get done probably next week. And unfortunately, that car is probably going off to auction, or it's going for sale for sure. The owner's going to sell it. He's got some issues that it's his business, not nobody else's, but he wants to get rid of it. So it's going away, and you know, which they all go away. I mean, I don't get to keep any of them, so they all go away eventually. Um, I'm starting to babble on now, so I don't know what else to say other than that. So I do still want to do my YouTube thing. I don't know how to edit these videos, so that's the other problem. I'm looking for somebody that knows how to edit the videos that might want to make a few bucks on the side. Because I would like to start doing some more documenting on YouTube, but I don't know how to edit nothing. And I don't know as if I want to get into even trying to. Once again, old dog. And I don't want no new tricks to be learned. I'm done. I'm done with well, I'm not done with learning because you're learning every day, but I don't necessarily care for the techie stuff. I'm just not into it. I do enough to make myself dangerous. Can use a computer. I can use a lot of stuff, but not interested in learning how to edit videos, I guess, is where that was going. But anyway, that's where I'm at with everything, and that's what I'm going to do. So, got any comments? Let me know. Let me know what you think. But I'm going to do some more of these talking videos here again, but it's going to be car related. No politics. Done with that too. Y'all have a good day. See ya.